Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie. As you can see, we're in a different location. This is the week 13, March the 26th through April the 1st weekly wrap up. Okay, so a little more about the fact that I am not in my regular places. I'm not even at the pool. I am at the pool, but this week has the week that I'm talking about, not last week that I'll be reviewing about. The week that I'm talking about, that a week that I'm recording this, has been super busy. I have been getting my water safety instructor certification, and oh my goodness, let me tell you, this class is so much more tiring than actually aiding and doing the job when I was working. Oh my gosh. I mean, granted, it is 7 hours a day that I've been doing since Monday, and it's all week long. Whereas I only work about 4 hours a day during a regular week. So yeah, that might be it. Doubling the time is making me tired. But yeah, so for this week, for next week's reviews, it probably won't be a whole bunch of books, but it is what it is because I'm back working and things like that. I am feeling more pain, so I don't know what's going on there, which means I'll have to make an appointment or two, which kind of sucks. But yeah, so let's just jump into what I did read last week, because that's what you guys are really here for, right? Yeah. So starting off the week, I finished Deacon, which is the A-Hole Club book number 4 by Tiya. And I'm placing this in contemporary romantic suspense because there's this suspense aspect to it that I was just like, where did that come from? And I am here for it. So I'm giving this 4.5 stars, giving it 3.5 Steam fans. Had it as an ebook through KU. This is a Black author. This is an accidental pregnancy. Vegas one night stand sort of situation. We have Deacon and we have Noni, and they meet one drunken night in Vegas, and then come to find out Noni ends up pregnant, and she seeks out Deacon to sign away his parental rights. But we get to learn about Deacon's past and how he got involved in the A-Hole Club and how he became friends with them and things like that. We get to see his past, and through it, he challenges Noni to allow him to be involved in the pregnancy before he decides if he's going to sign over his rights. Well, Noni has issues of her own. Her fiance is an asshole, and not a good asshole, like a douchebag asshole. Why, Noni, why are you still with him? Was my thoughts throughout this entire book. I was like, why are you still with him? And then the generational trauma from her mother was just like, ooh, ew. I just knew there was gonna be this twist that didn't end up happening, but I just had this feeling that Noni's mother was dirty too, but she didn't end up being dirty. She just was an asshole and generational trauma. But yeah, so Noni was always known as the good girl, always being pleasing, always doing what she was told and things like that. And when her and Deacon get together, they, kind of support each other, and in this beautiful way that, she finds her fight, he finds his will to fight, and I just love the story. I loved it. I didn't think I was gonna love it so much. Tiya is a sort of new to me author, and I enjoyed this take. This felt very connected to the Asshole Club books in the series, and I was just like, yes, mwah, yes. And then we get to see some other characters from the series as well, and I was just like, yay! It was so good. It was so good. So good. The next thing that I finished was Midnight, which is Kingstown novella number 2 by Shon. Placing this in interracial romance novella. This felt more like a serial than it does a novella, because once you get started, it ends. The book ends. So I'm giving it 3.5 stars, giving it 4 Steam fans. Had it as an ebook through KU. This is a Black author. The first book in this series, I was not a fan of. I was just like, nah, it wasn't for me. It is for someone, but it wasn't for me. This book, most definitely, it gave big dick energy, and I was like here for it. So we have Midnight and we have Tyler, who Tyler really kind of annoyed me, and we didn't get to see why she was so annoying. Like I said, once we started to get their story, Midnight and Tyler's story together, it just ended. I was just like, what? And we get to see Midnight open up about his past, about his, his reasonings for wanting, to be with Tyler, because they were like friends with benefits for a little while, and he was more committed than she was, but we never really got to find out why Tyler was not committed, or could not commit, or failed to commit, or didn't feel like she needed to commit to Midnight. And I was just like, and then it was over. The sexy times is spicy. Whew, like I said, Midnight's given BDE, big dick energy all over the place. And I was just like, oh, okay. Yes. Yes. So if that's what you want out of a book, then definitely check it out, because it is something. I would label this book as something being, like I said, a serial and a slump buster. So if you're just looking for something that's going to be quick, to the point, you don't need to really think about the traumas of our two characters, just the fact that they're together, and how they overcome this little hump in their being apart type thing, but they're actually together. This is going to be the book for you. This is a slump buster. That's where I'm going to label that. The next book that I finished was Lady Mafia by Debra Anastasia, placing this in romantic suspense / romantic comedy a little bit. So giving this book 4 stars, giving it 3 Steam fans. I had it as an arc. There is content warning for human trafficking, mafia dealings, some cheating of partners, not necessarily our main character, and over the top antics. So if you have read any of Debra's other books, she's very over the top with maybe her crude jokes and things like that. And I had some reservations as I started it. The first couple chapters, when we're laying out our female characters, who is our main female character is Indy, but also sort of a, not necessarily a side character, but another main character is Zenny and Aster. The 3 of them together are on a bachelorette trip. And their antics are very, very, very over the top and somewhat crude, like to the point where one of them uses an allergy, a very deadly allergy to shrimp, as sort of a party trick, sort of a deterrent, and the things that come along with that allergic reaction are very over the top. And it was almost off-putting, but I love Debra Anastasia's work, so I pushed through it, got past that, and then this romantic suspense started to unfold, and I was just like, okay, I am here for this. Saw some old characters in a universe that I absolutely adore, which is Mercy, and Animal and T and all of them. So if you recognize those names, then you can sort of see where I'm going with this. I loved it. We have Letty, who is trying to free his brother from this rival gang that has taken him sort of hostage. So he's trying to win him back in a way, has gotten himself in a bad place. But there's some secrets there as well. Indy and Letty end up falling in love, and I was just like, okay, I like this. We started getting some action in it and started getting some meaning behind it. And like I said, we got to see some of our old characters that I absolutely love. And I love this book. The final book that I finished last week was Things We Hide from the Light, which is Knock 'em Out number 2 by Lucy Score, giving this, placing this in romantic suspense. giving it 4.25 stars, giving it 4 Steam fans. Had this as an audiobook / out of my KU. Content warning for PTSD, anxiety, law enforcement shooting, and the sort of case that goes along with that. I know that a lot of people have labeled this as propaganda, I think it's called, or whatever, because it deals with law enforcement and the investigation of a law enforcement like shooting and things like that. There are some other topics that are in here about bad cops and things like that. Now, I found this book to be very refreshing and a not a in some ways people are going to be like, "Oh, you shouldn't, say that the whole not all cops type thing, one bad apple." But I like the way that it was handled. I like the way that the discussion of why it was being handled. And you can see that this community, even though it's a small town in Virginia, which I live in Virginia, so it kind of hit home. I kind of understood. There are cities and towns and things like that I lock my doors. I don't go to at night and things like that. And Knockemout feels like this town that on the outside, driving through may be one of those towns, but at the same time, if I stayed and got to know it, I would enjoy it type town. So yeah. So we are following Nash, who is the brother to Knox from the first book. And at the end of the first book, you find out that Nash has been shot, who is the chief of police of Knockemout. And the Lena, who is Knox's like sort of best friend, moves back to town, and she has an insurance job. But lo and behold, that insurance job is a little bit more of like a bounty hunter sort of look, except for she's not looking for people, she's looking for things. She's that kind of insurance bounty hunter, I guess you could say. And she moves in next door to Nash, and Knox wards Nash off from Lena, but that doesn't stop them. That doesn't stop them from their attraction. Um, Nash is dealing with his memory loss, with his anxiety from being shot, dealing with trying to clean up his town, which he had set out to do in the first place, and feeling some guilt and things like that over the things that have been going on. And I really enjoyed the story. I have seen some reviews say that it was too long, but it felt to me like it just continued on with the layers of how things should be dealt. The sensitivities that needed to be had, because there were a couple times where some of the social issues that are very much out um, out in the news currently, like in real life, end up in this book, like dealing police dealing with uh people with special needs, or having disabilities, or on the spectrum, the LGBTQIA community, things like that. So yeah, I really enjoyed how everything was layered in, not necessarily you know uh forming towards either side, very middle of the road, very looking at all sides. And to the credit of Lucy Score, she did her research before writing about these social issue topics, getting with and researching with people that actually deal with these things on a day-to-day basis. And if you want to know about more about that, definitely check out her acknowledgments, because she acknowledges those people and those sensitivities through those acknowledgments. So I really enjoyed that book. So what am I currently reading? I am currently reading Ravishing Rayne, which is book number 3 in the Royal Reflections series by Aleatha Romig. This is an arc. This comes out in the middle of April, and I am so excited to read this book. This romantic suspense is like mwah, top notch Aleatha Romig, and I'm love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh goodness. Gotta love recording in a school. I'm also reading Devoted, which is an arc by Evelyn Sola. This is a novella. This is a wedding, sort of extended epilogue of two of the characters. I believe it's Max and Summer's wedding that we get to see. Super excited to jump into that. I'm also going to be reading an arc of Destined for Me, by Corinne Michaels. This is another, I want to say, this is an Arrowwood, 1001 Nights book, novella. So super excited to read that. And I am also going to be reading The Billionaire, which is the second book in the Dalton family series by Marni Mann. So that is what I'm reading. I think that's all. I need to go into class. So as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Also, there's a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. My son's fundraiser is still going on, so if you are able to and would like to keep him in the pool, you can donate to that, or you can enter into the raffles. There have actually been some extra things included into the raffle. So like, I know I said before there had been some vacation homes and things like that. There's been an added vacation home and some extra, like, really cool raffle prizes. So if you guys are interested in any of that, please check out the link down in my description box as well. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in another video.